there, this is TheRubyRevolution. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the second 1.97 dev server. Well, this was unexpected. I really didn't think the Apaches were actually coming this update, but here we go. We're getting 3 now, 2 for America and 1 for Britain. They're all regular tech tree helicopters, no premium Apache at all, it seems like, which is kind of a little bit of a shame because the premium Huey is such a pretty much terrible helicopter now, not very good at all. But there we go, no pay to win at all in terms of the helicopters for America, which is kind of a little bit of a shame, but never mind. They're also, as well, this update, it seems like changing how helicopters spawn in. They can no longer at the start of games spawn in with ATGMs fitted. You can only spawn in with unguided ordnance like rockets, like bombs, and the guns, etc., which means that people can now have to get into their tanks and get kills and points, etc., to be able to spawn in to the helicopters once again with ATGMs, which is, I don't know why they didn't do that. Well, I know why they didn't do it sooner and they changed it. It's because they wanted to sell KA-50s to us, and because now they've milked us of the KA-50s, they're changing it back to how it was so people can rejoice once again. And then no doubt something else will get added in, which is absolutely ridiculous and the most bullshit pay to win in a later patch, but it's still a good addition and it'll bring ground forces back to ground RB again, which is really, really good. Anyway, on to looking at the Apaches. There's also some other vehicles as well, which are added with the dev server, which we'll also look at as well. And there's a new top tier Swedish tank, which they said they wasn't going to add in this update, and it shouldn't be on the dev server, but it's on the dev server, so it's definitely coming this update. Now you can probably guess what it's going to be, but anyway, this is the AH-64A. This is the first one that you can unlock. This one doesn't have the radar dish on top, which is also a new addition this update. Helicopters now get ground radar for scanning and detecting ground units. It only has a range of 4 kilometers, which is, for the most part, not going to be useful because you're going to be attacking targets further than that, but still, it's another addition for helicopters. Now, in terms of like what this can carry, it has flares on with 30. It can carry Hellfire missiles, as you might expect. It also has the new AIM-9L missiles, 20 G overload. Well, at least I think they're the new missiles, but these have a 20G overload. It can carry 2 of these, or it can carry 4 of the normal AIM-92s, which have a 10G overload with the 8 Hellfire missiles. Also like stuff like Hydras, things like that, which you're probably going to be using when you're stock with this thing, but you want to get down to the Hellfire missiles, and that's mostly where you want to get to. Now, if you have a look at the other one, this is the iconic one, which everybody knows and loves. This one has the radar dish on top, like I said, which has the scanning range out to 4 kilometers. This one as well has some different in terms of what it can have. It can carry the 4 Stinger missiles on the offensive armament here rather than the other one. I don't know why they did that. It also carries more flares, 150 flares rather than the 30, and it has less in terms of what it can carry. It seems to be just the Hellfire 2s, which has extra penetration, 1,200 millimeters instead of 1,100, I think it is, with the normal Hellfires, and I think they travel a little bit quicker. Let me just check that double quickly. No, they're the same. They're the same, so literally just a little bit better in terms of the penetration, but still absolutely fantastic. This can also, as you can see, carry 16 of these. Absolutely terrifying amount of ammunition. And then that one has the 8, the 38. Yeah, so it looks like with this one the Stingers are just a normal addition. Oh yeah, it can't carry the AIM-9Ls. So it's literally just the AIM-92s with the AH-64D. That is such a terrifying amount of ordnance that this thing can carry. Anyway, onto the British one now. Now the British one does differentiate between the American one in a few ways. If we just preview it, pretty much looks identical in terms of how it looks. However, the stuff that it can carry is definitely different. This one can have 226 flares, so definitely a lot more. And this one as well has Fire Streak missiles. Now, I had to quickly check to what these were because I couldn't remember. These are actually the same things as what the Stormer uses, which is this thing down here. These are the same missiles as this. And these things are pretty terrible in terms of air-to-air. It looks like how they're going to work is the same as on a Stormer. Because when you look at the graphic for this, it says here, look, with the guidance, it says semi-automatic. Which makes me think that they're going to be mouse-aimed like the Stormer missiles, and they're not going to be infrared. And that's going to be challenging to hit things when you're in a helicopter using this. They do have amazing speed, 1,400 meters a second, but I'd much rather have like Stinger missiles or the same missiles, or the AIM-92 missiles or something like that, because these are just going to be challenging to use. Really challenging to use. In terms of everything else that can carry, it's the same as the other Apache 16 Hellfire 2 missiles. Absolutely terrifying ordnance. Like I said, I think pretty sure these are the similar sort of unguided rockets as well. 290 mils of penetration on them. So there is definitely some differences between the different Apache types. I can also as well take this version out for a test flight, which is what we'll do now. Okay, here we go. We're in a test flight for this. Unfortunately, I can't fully spade this out or anything, so we're just going to have the Hydra unguided rockets. Oh, she's such an awesome helicopter. Absolutely terrifying. You can see here as well, look, the radar is picking up these ground targets up to a range of 4 kilometers. It doesn't, from what I can tell though, it doesn't pick up air targets. I'm not really sure why, but it does not seem to pick up enemy air targets. 30mm is pretty nice. Pretty cool. Let's see if we can get the Tunguska. Nice. Okay, so you can definitely kill stuff with the 30mm if it's an SPL or something. Let's see if we can use these unguided rockets on these targets over here. Yeah, she's a cool helicopter. It's a bit of a shame there's no premium one, which would have been nice for America, to be honest. But never mind, they're still getting them in game. They're absolutely awesome helicopters. There is so much to look forward to this patch. I cannot wait for it. Wow, just realized as well that this 30mm has over 1,100 rounds. That is a lot of ammunition for the 30mm. For the most part, you're not going to be using them. It's still pretty good. Oh, it's gonna be a real challenge though. Imagine trying to use one of those Starstreak missiles on a MiG-15. The American one is definitely going to be the best out of the bunch, I think, in terms of self-defense as well as the attacking capabilities. All of these helicopters, as well, incidentally, also have thermals on. In terms of other new vehicles with the second 1.97 dev server, Italy is getting another Centauro. This is one armed with a 120mm 9.7 battle rating. This is pretty much an L44 cannon, 481 mils of penetration with that DM33 shell. Really nice gun, we all know and love. 9.7 battle rating. In terms of the other stats, in terms of the engine performance, everything like that is pretty much identical to the other two Centauros. But still, it's another top tier tank slash wheeled vehicle for Italy. Really nice addition and pretty nice to see. The main thing though, which is being added to this second dev server, even though they said wasn't actually coming in this patch and it shouldn't have actually been in the dev files, is this. This is the STRV 122. This is a Swedish Leopard 2A5. It has been modified and updated. This came into service in 1997. It's an absolutely, truly terrifying vehicle in terms of the stats on it, and it's actually going to be taking the crown away from the German 2A5. In terms of the guns on it, it's that L44 cannon, 481 mils of penetration. It has thermals, laser rangefinders, artillery support, etc. But this is actually an up-armored Leopard 2A5. If I go to the armor, protection analysis, and if we have a look at, say, Russia with the AT-80U firing its top shell, just look at that lower plate. Just look at that lower plate. It's literally just the bottom part which is penable, and even then, you might be able to get the ammunition, but most people are going to have ammunition up here, and you might get the engine. This is a truly terrifying vehicle. The only place you can really pen it from the front is the mantlet, maybe just through there, and take out the gun. This is a really terrifying vehicle. Literally, the weak spot is literally the thin line between the turret and the rest of the hull. This also has, according to the stat card, a way more powerful engine. It says it's 2,000 horsepower. Not sure if that's correct. Yeah, it says it's 2,000 horsepower there. Incidentally, the German Leopard 2A5 has a 1,300 horsepower engine, and it's only about 3 tons lighter, so double the horsepower for only 3 tons more. And the Leopard 2A5 isn't exactly a slow vehicle. This is a truly terrifying addition to the game, and I know why they've done it as well, and why they're giving Sweden the best top tier tank in the game. Is because they want people to golden eagle their way down to top tier. So basically the reason why they want them to buy the premium vehicles, etc., so they can get down to the STRV 122, so they have the new biggest shiny in War Thunder, and they can stomp everybody else in the game. Guys are not stupid, they're definitely clever when it comes to trying to sell and make money out of people. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the second dev server. There probably is some other additions as well, but I just wanted to cover the main ones with this video. But anyway, let me know in the comments below what you think of these extra additions which are coming this patch. And please like, comment, share, all the good stuff, and I'll catch you on the next one sometime soon. Bye!